Hey everybody, Wraith or AKA Wedgie here. Uh, First thing, I want to thank everybody for stopping by my previous video about the drone or the remote ID and the FAA. I really appreciate the views. Thank you to XJet especially for stopping by and leaving a comment. Um, and motivating everybody to get out there and to uh, get this word spread about standing up to remote ID. So this video is basically just a follow-up because some of the comments that I've seen on various videos, my own included, um, everybody is kind of curious as to what's going on, what led up to this. So I took some time. I did some research. So give me a second here. I know it looks like I'm looking up at my ceiling, but I got a 65-inch monitor and it's 3 feet in front of me. So, um, anyways, let's see here. So a little bit of history about radio control first. I mean, the first RC aircraft, um, the very first ones were, let's see, we're talking like late 19th century, early 20th century. The first ones were in the late 19th century were basically hydrogen filled model airships. And they used I know this sounds crazy, a basic form of spark emitted radio signal. Uh, to say hydrogen and spark in the same sentence doesn't seem right. Uh, anyways, then moving on to the early 20th century, British drone weapons from 1917 and 1918. Um, they evolved through their development through the work of the Royal Aircraft Establishment, resulting in a fleet of over 400 Queen Bee UAV target aircraft in the 1930s. So we're looking at through World War One and into the start of World War Two. We had the military working on RC aircraft. Uh, then you start to get more into scale modeling. Now, scale modeling really didn't start taking off in the private sector until the 1960s. Oh, excuse me. I guess that's about the time that, I mean, transistor radios really started to become a thing. And it was easier for the consumer to acquire the radio technology needed to put into a model aircraft and to put that model aircraft into the air. Anyways, so going from the 1960s to now, 60 years of model aviation. That is insane. 60 years. And it's just now becoming the issue that it is today. Now, I remember when I first got into RC aircraft, um, and I went to the field with my then brother-in-law, and there was a gentleman there who had a radio control helicopter that had a camera attached to it with a video transmitter, and he had a base station set up in the back of his van with a TV. He had a tower antenna that was probably, I mean, from the ground, the stand was about 4 foot tall, and then the antenna itself was probably another 4 foot on top of that. Um, it was an omnidirectional antenna. Um, Probably equivalent of a monopole today. Um, I don't know what frequency it was on. I could probably assume 900 megahertz. Um, I'm not 100% sure because it was so long ago. This was before the 2.4 gigahertz radios came out. So unsure what it was. I couldn't even tell you what kind of camera was on this helicopter. I can tell you it was big because the helicopter was a gasser. Um, so yeah, it was something else. And I can also tell you that the video transmitter interfered with his radio signal and he crashed his helicopter that day. Um, but it was still something else to behold. I mean, that was the future right there. For me, I was like, wow, could you imagine how where this is going to go? And now all we got to do is build a little tiny drone. I mean, hell, a little tiny drone. And I mean, with a camera and throw goggles on our face and we can fly around the house and buzz our wife and have her yell at us, "Don't get that thing stuck in my hair." Anyways, um, so yeah, that was that back then was the future leading to this. Anyways, um, so moving on from there, um, we had 60 years of RC, and in that 60 years, the FAA has really all but left model aviation alone. Hell, they didn't even classify model aircraft as aircraft. Um, let's see, where was it? Let's see, let's look at regulations on use, United States. Okay. The FAA, the legal status of radio control model aircraft under the federal aviation law is currently unclear. And this was as of 2014. It says in March 2014, in the case of Huerta versus Perker, an administrative law judge with the NTSB dismissed an FAA enforcement action against a model aircraft operator under 14 CFR 91.13, prohibiting careless and reckless operation of an aircraft, ruling that the model aircraft are not legally classified as aircraft and that they are not subject to the current FARs, Federal Aviation Regulations. That decision was appealed by the full NTSB, and in November of 2014, the NTSB issued a ruling reversing the administrative law judge's decision and holding that the model aircraft are legally considered aircraft, at least for the purposes of 14 CFR 9113, and remanded the case to the administrative judge to determine whether Perker's actions constituted reckless operations. Now, I looked up what Perker was doing. He was flying a styrofoam fixed wing airplane over where was that? I just had it up. Da, 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 da. It was, I know it was in Virginia. Um, it was in the vicinity of the University of Virginia campus. I want to say he was flying it over a medical center. Um, I don't know exactly what his purpose was, but um, the FAA was trying to say that he was using it for commercial gain. Now, these days, of course, we have Part 107 for that. Um, and the FAA, I guess, wanted to make an example of him, and they ended up suing him for $10,000. Now, this was settled in 2015, and he ended up only having to pay out $1,100. He got it negotiated down. But anyways, that was the start right there, I would say. And then, where was it? I want to say it was when the FAA went through their modernization. What was it? FAA Modernization Act, Modernization and Reform Act of 2018, or was it 2012? Um, hold on. Damn it. I think it was 2012. Um, let's see. And RC aircraft. Let's see. So basically, the FAA Modernization and Reform Act of 2012 had basically reclassed model aircraft as aircraft. And this basically gave the FAA precedent to, and of course, well, there's also the Reform Act of 2018 as well, which even took it further. But this was the first step into getting model aircraft recognized as full-on aircraft and bringing them into the national airspace systems. Um, and this is what, like I said, it was the first stepping stone, and it was the first nail in the coffin for the hobby. Um, as such, it just goes from there. I probably should have done a bit more research, but I know that this was what really set it in motion, and I know that there has been some talk also about Amazon um, going and doing their thing as far as drones. Um, let's see, Amazon Drone Delivery Service. Um, Amazon's Prime Air is a drone delivery service that aims to deliver packages up to 5 pounds in less than 1 hour. The company has been working on this project for almost a decade, but has faced some challenges such as crashes, safety issues, and regulatory hurdles. There it is. Um, let's see. Amazon announced that it would launch its first drone delivery in Lockford, California later this year after receiving the approval from the FAA. The service will also roll out in College Station, Texas. Prime Air will compete with other drone delivery services such as Alphabet's Wing, which partners with FedEx and Walgreens. So there you are. I mean, this is it right here. This is the cause. This is what's going on. This is why we're losing our airspace. Um, now, I'm trying to see if I can find some more information on uh, Prime Air. Let's see. Amazon Prime Air prepares for drone deliveries. This was June last year. Let's see. And their, let's see, announcement of their delivery drones. Shit, I'd get one and strip the motors off of it. No. I really don't see how they're going to be able to get away with this, to be quite honest. Um, let's see, the Prime Air drone. That's an older video. That's from 2019. They've since changed their design. Um, let's see. Amazon Prime Air. The Wikipedia page. Let's see what that says. In 2013, this is after the FAA Modernization and Reform Act. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos revealed plans for Amazon Prime Air in an interview on 60 Minutes. The Prime Air team worked with NASA and Single European Sky ATM on trials using the Amazon Air Traffic Management System. For additional safety, drones will fly at low altitudes below 400 feet. There it is. This is on Wikipedia. Just look up Amazon Prime Air. It's on Wikipedia. That is it. This is why we're losing our airspace. End of story right here. This is why Amazon is saying, or this is why the FAA is going after drone ID or remote ID. They're not creating any FRIAs. They're not or let me rephrase. They're not recognizing any FRIAs. This is why everything is happening. Plain and simple. It's because Amazon is invading our airspace. That is it in a nutshell. So, look, I have no problems with using Amazon for convenience of shopping. But if I have to Wile E. Coyote the shit to my doorstep and use drone delivery, I mean, that's friggin' crazy. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine what the shipping cost would be for something like that. In order to receive something in less than an hour via drone delivery. And I mean, this is something else too. What's Amazon doing in areas surrounding international airports? I live within 4 miles of a small regional airport. And then just on the other side of that airport, within another 4 miles, is Louisville International Airport. So, I mean, how are they going to manage negotiating those airspaces? And what if you live somewhere like in New York where you got JFK, or Chicago, you have O'Hare and Midway, LA, you have LAX, Burbank, and a number of other smaller regional airports, or Denver. I mean, you got Denver International, obviously, plus you have a high altitude. I mean, air density altitude is just going to be insane for friggin' drone delivery services in Denver. Um, I mean, here in Louisville, in the Ohio Valley, we're 550 feet above sea level. So, I mean, yeah, technically we're ideal as far as air density altitude, or I think that's the proper term. Anyways, but we're ideal for it. But you get somewhere like Denver, forget about it. I don't think it's going to happen. Um, so, anyways, yeah, look up Amazon Prime Air on Wikipedia, and it has the concept. Let's see, U.S. regulations testing under a waiver. Oh, U.S. regulations and testing under a waiver program. Um, In the FAA Modernization and Reform Act of 2012, Congress issued the FAA a deadline of September 30th, 2015, to accomplish a safe integration of civil unmanned aircraft systems into the National Airspace System. Yeah, lobbyist got to Congress. That's what it was. Uh, in August 2016, commercial use of UAV technology was legalized by the United States Congress. Okay, well, I can somewhat get that. So that allows for Part 107. There's that. Uh, in March 2015, the FAA granted Amazon permission to begin U.S. testing of a prototype under a waiver to the then regulations. Amazon reported that the vehicle cleared for use was obsolete. Um, In April 2015, the FAA allowed Amazon to begin testing current models. In the interim, Amazon had begun testing at a Canadian site close to the U.S. border. Current U.S. regulations require drones to fly no higher than 400 foot and no faster than 100 miles per hour, and remain within the pilot's line of sight. Amazon has stated that it intends to move towards operating above 200 foot and beneath 500 foot. Amazon has stated it plans to fly drones weighing up to 55 pounds within a 10-mile radius of its warehouses at speeds of up to 50 miles per hour, with packages weighing up to 5 pounds in tow. In June 2019, the FAA granted Amazon Prime Air a special airworthiness certificate for training and research of its Mark 27 drone. In August 2020, the company received an FAA Part 135 Air Carrier Certificate. The same year, Amazon began trials in several rural areas in Oregon and California, which were still ongoing as of April 2022, with about 30 different products available for delivery. There you go. I heard mention through one of the other videos about remote ID coming to the UK, and here it is right here too. Tests in Cambridge, England. Amazon has patented a beehive-like structure to house delivery drones in cities, allowing Amazon to move from large single-story warehouses that temporarily store packages before they are shipped. Fulfillment centers designed to accommodate drone deliveries and operations within a certain radius are currently required. On December 7th, 2016, Amazon successfully delivered a Prime Air parcel to Cambridge, England from a fulfillment center in the Cambridge area. Amazon posted a video of the delivery on their official YouTube channel later that month. Also, in December 2016, Amazon began its first publicly available trial of Amazon Prime Air to those within several miles of Amazon's depot in Cambridge. So yeah, this is where it's headed. This is the reason for remote ID. Plain and simple, black and white. Technology is getting to that advanced point that we're going to have this. And this is why it's happening. The FAA, yes, they've left model aviation alone for so long, 60 years from, and that's being generous actually, we'll say from 1960 to 2023, 63 years would be being generous, but yeah, 60 years they've left us alone. And now they're coming after us because the technology has given them the ability to do this. You can have a lightweight drone that has a high capacity battery that can fly using GPS coordinates. It can have obstacle avoidance. It has all the navigation hardware and software that it needs. And then it can fly miles out beyond visual line of sight, drop its delivery, and then come back. And yeah, it's a big deal. So this is where we're at, and this is why we need to not comply with remote ID. We need to shut down the likes of Jeff Bezos in this respect. I mean, the man has more money than God. What the hell does he need a drone delivery service for? Was he that hung up on Wile E. Coyote when he was growing up? Really? I mean, that's what comes to mind. Instead of Wile E. Coyote filling out an Acme order form and putting it in a mailbox, he's on his smartphone on Amazon.com. I mean, um, so yeah, that's what we're dealing with now. I mean, damn, who knew Warner Brothers would predict the future? It's usually The Simpsons. Um, but yeah, so this is where we're at, and this is the reason. It is Amazon. Like I said, I'll put this link in the description, the Wikipedia link in the description for Amazon Prime Air on on Wikipedia. But yeah, this is it. Also, you can look up the FAA Modernization and Reform Acts of 2012 and 2018. Look up Huerta v. Perker. Um, that case was in 2012, or was that 2011? I can't remember. What year was that? Oh, I'm sorry. That was in 2013. Or was it? Yeah, I think 2013, 2014, somewhere around there. Um, or no, I'm sorry, 2011. That's when that happened. That was actually when he got in trouble. Was in 2011. So you can look up that. Um, but it's, yeah, Huerta v. Perker. Um, I'll see if I can link something on that in the description as well. But yeah, these are some of the things that I've been thinking about for the past couple days, especially since XJet has been doing his thing, trying to get us all motivated to stand up against remote ID. And uh, hopefully we open some eyes and we open some ears and open some minds. And these bureaucratic buttheads in Washington who've never held a remote in their hands ever and never had a pair of goggles on their face. Hopefully, maybe they'll listen this time because it's getting out of hand very badly. So, anyways, that's it for now, and hopefully I've given everyone some food for thought, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks. Bye.